ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ।
ਕੌਣ ਤਰਾਜੇ ਕਵਣ ਤੁਲਾ, ਤੇਰਾ ਕਵਣ ਸਰਾਫ ਬੁਲਾਵਾ। ਕੌਣ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੈ ਪਹਿ ਦੀਖਿਆ ਲੇਵਾ, ਕੈ ਪਹਿ ਮੁੱਲ ਕਰਾਵਾ। ਮੇਰੇ ਲਾਲ ਜੀਓ ਤੇਰਾ ਅੰਤ ਨਾ ਜਾਣਾ, ਤੂੰ ਜਲ ਥਲ ਮਹੀਲ ਭਰਪੁਰ ਲੀਣਾ। ਤੂੰ ਆਪੇ ਸਰਬ ਸਮਾਣਾ ਰਹਾਉ। ਮਨ ਤਾਰਾ ਜੀ ਚਿਤ ਤੁਲਾ, ਤੇਰੀ ਸੇਵ ਸਰਾਫ ਕਮਾਵਾ। ਘਟ ਹੀ ਭੀਤਰ ਸੋ ਸੋਹ ਤੋਲੀ, ਇਨ ਬਿਦ ਚਿਤ ਰਹਾਵਾ। ਆਪੇ ਕੰਡਾ ਤੋਲ ਤਰਾਜੇ, ਆਪੇ ਤੋਲਣ ਹਾਰਾ। ਆਪੇ ਦੇਖੈ ਆਪੇ ਬੂਝੈ, ਆਪੇ ਹੈ ਵਣਜਾਰਾ। ਅੰਧਲਾ ਨੀਚ ਜਾਤ ਪਰਦੇਸੀ, ਖਿਨ ਆਵੈ ਤਿਲ ਜਾਵੈ। ਤਾਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਰਹਿਦਾ, ਕਿਉ ਕਰ ਮੂੜਾ ਪਾਵੈ। ਅੰਧਲਾ ਨੀਚ ਜਾਤ ਪਰਦੇਸੀ, ਖਿਨ ਆਵੈ ਤਿਲ ਜਾਵੈ। ਤਾਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਰਹਿਦਾ, ਕਿਉ ਕਰ ਮੂੜਾ ਪਾਵੈ। We started this Shabad last week and we went up to the Arth, up to the Rahau Pankti, and we based the Katha around one Pankti where Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah Ji said, where Padshah Ji said that mere Lal Jiyo tera ant na jana. A question was asked to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah Ji by the Gursikhs. Sikhan ne sawal ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah ਨੂੰ, asked Guru Nanak Dev Ji a question and they said, kaun taraji kaun tula, tera kaun saraaf bulawa. They said, oh Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ kaun taraji. They said, what is that scale? Kaun tula, what is that weight? Tera kaun saraaf bulawa, what is that appraiser? What is that person that can tell me, oh Waheguru Ji, how great and what your limit is? Is there any scale that I can use to work that out with? Oh Waheguru Ji, what weight is that I can use to try and weigh you with? Who is that person? Who is that being that is able to tell me how great you are? How great Waheguru Ji is? Asking these questions, they said, what guru can we go to and take teaching and sikhya off that will tell us the limit of Waheguru Ji, how great and how big Waheguru Ji is? Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah Ji. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah Ji, not looking at those sects that asked the question, oh Sikhan wal nahi vekhya Guru Nanak Padshah Ji ne, but instead Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah Ji with much love, they say directly to Waheguru Ji, Akal Purkh, they say Mere Lal Jiyo. They refer to Waheguru Ji as Mere, mine, very personal. Mere Lal, Lal meaning beloved. They're saying, oh my beloved Waheguru Ji, saying Mere Lal Jiyo. Jiyo out of respect for Waheguru Ji, saying Tera ant na jana. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah is saying, they said, oh Waheguru Ji, your limit cannot be known, your end cannot be known. Because you have no end, oh Waheguru Ji, you have no limit, oh Waheguru Ji. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah Ji in love of Waheguru Ji saying, Mere Lal, oh my beloved Waheguru Ji, nobody can know your limits. As Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah is talking to Akal Purkh Ji, Waheguru Ji direct, those Sikhs that are sitting there, they must have been in awe looking at Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah Ji's chehra. Can you imagine that moment? When Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah Ji must have gone into so much love. The face must have been so radiant and red. They're calling Waheguru Ji Lal, Lal meaning red. And red also, Gursikh Pyare, represents the colour of love. saying, oh Waheguru Ji, that is full of love. Nobody can know your limits. And then Guru Sikh Pyaro, we spoke about that if Waheguru Ji's limits cannot be known, then Guru Sikh Pyaro, Guru Parameshwar Eko Jaan, that if God's limits cannot be known, then our Guru's limits cannot be known as well. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਸ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣ ਸਕਦੇ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਸ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਦਾ ਅੰਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰੇ, ਉੱਥੇ in that same place, just like we never know the limits of Waheguru Ji, we will never know the limits of our Guru. Our Guru is just as great. And the poets then praised Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji, the poets within Guru Granth Sahib Ji Padshah Ji that contributed their Bani. They praised Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji, and we went through that last week with so much love. I say so many times, Guru Sikh Pyaro, some people might say that everybody is equal, all the prophets are equal, all the other prophets that came before Guru Nanak Padshah, they are equal to Guru Nanak Padshah, they're all the same, we shouldn't discriminate against anyone. But Guru Sikh Pyaro, ask that Guru Sikh that has fallen in love with their Guru, will they say the same thing? Within Guru Granth Sahib Ji Padshah Ji's Bani, the Pat said, we went through the Bani last week, so we're not going to go through the same Bani. The Pat said, Guru Sikh Pyareo, they said about Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah, they said somebody may be able to, if you meet a true Guru, if you meet a Satguru, that Satguru will be able to tell you how many droplets of water there is within a cloud. That Sadguru will be able to tell you how many kirana, how many rays come out of the sun, how many rays come out of the moon. Even though on a normal level these things seem impossible. You ask the average person, you can go to they said there's about 7 billion people on this earth, Guru Sikh Pyaro, you go to them, there's probably about a couple that can have that much antartyan, that can focus to that extent to tell you these things. But Pal, his name was Pal, so much love for the Guru, and he says you may be able to find some that can tell you all of these things. He goes, but if there's one thing that we can never say, he goes, and that is Palle Amardas Gun Tere Teri Upama Tohe Banave O Guru Amardas Ji Padshah Ji. Nobody can ever tell how many virtues you have. There is no limits to your virtues, O Guru Amardas Ji Padshah. When we read our Nitnem Baniya, when we read Rahras, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਰਹਿਰਾਸ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ, and over there they're saying the same thing. Over here they're saying ਤੇਰਾ ਅੰਤ ਨਾ ਜਾਣਾ, that your limits cannot be known. When we sit down to read Rahras, Guru Sikh Pyaro will say, ਸੁਣ ਵੱਡਾ ਆਖੇ ਸਭ ਕੋਏ. Saying ਸੁਣ ਵੱਡਾ ਆਖੇ ਸਭ ਕੋਏ, meaning ਸੁਣ ਕੇ. People listen to other people, ਸੁਣ ਕੇ. People will be talking about God. When somebody's talking about God, you'll be listening to them, what they're saying about God. And they'll say, Sun Vada Aake Sab Koi. They're saying that everybody will be saying that God is so great. Koi koga Sun Vada Aake Sab Koi. Par. They're saying this when they've listened to somebody else. Kende Sun Vada Aake Sab Koi Ke Vad Vada Dita Hoye Par Asal Roop Vich Guru Sikh Pyaro. But the truth is, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੁਣ ਵੱਡਾ ਆਖੇ ਸਭ ਕੋਏ ਕੇ ਵੱਡ. But truly how great Waheguru Ji is, ਕੇ ਵੱਡ ਵੱਡਾ ਡੀਠਾ. Dita means to see, to look. Dita hoye, you can only really know how great Waheguru Ji is when you get to see Waheguru Ji. Not with these eyes. When you get to see Waheguru Ji, when you get to experience Waheguru Ji, when you merge back in with Waheguru Ji, when you become ek mek with Waheguru Ji Akal Purkh Ji. Sun Vada. Until then, people will say Waheguru Ji is great, but we'll never know how great Waheguru Ji is. Sun Vada ke sab koi ke vad vada dita hoye कीमत पाए ना कहया जाए कहने वाले तेरे रहे समाए. गुरसिख प्यारेओ, वो जेरे कहने वाले, those that speak of you, O Waheguru Ji, they can never know your limits. What can they do instead? They can smile back into you. They can merge back into you. And now coming back to Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji. If we now look at Guru Sikh Pyaro Japji Sahib, our first Bani of the morning, We're talking about a mull here, because the word here was, they asked, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੁੱਲ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਆ, ਪਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੁੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾ ਸਕਦੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਅੰਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਖਿਆ, they said ਕੌਣ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੈ ਪਹਿ ਦੀਖਿਆ ਲੇਵਾ ਕੈ ਪਹਿ ਮੁੱਲ ਕਰਾਵਾਂ। Mull means price. How can I put a price on Waheguru Ji the same? How can I get to know how great Waheguru Ji is? But Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, Tera ant na jana. But then Guru Sikh Pyareo, the same word mull. Mull means when you're able to put a price on something, when you're able to work something out. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji said in the morning, Kende, a mull gun, a mull vapar, a mull vaparye, a mull pandar. So we're just looking at the same Pangati Guru Sikh Pyareo, the same word mull. But how is Waheguru Ji a mull? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji, they'll tell us that in the morning Bani as well. But if we look at Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji's Jeevan, but if we look at the life of Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah, and then now we take this Bani, even though Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah is saying that a mull gun, that Waheguru Ji's virtues are priceless, but now if we look at Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah, because they said that their gun cannot be known, their virtues cannot be known. So now we can take this, and a Sikh can say this to Guru Amar Das Ji, can say this to their Guru. They're saying, oh Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji, and you can make this personal. You can say, oh Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji, amul gun. Oh Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji, your gun are amul, their prices. Amul gun, amul vapar. You know the trade that you do, oh Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji, the trade that you do, that is also amul. That is also priceless, Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah. Amul gun, mul vapar. Vapar means trade. What trade is Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah doing? The trade of truth. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji sach de vapari ne. And Guru Sikh Pyareo, if we look into their life of Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah, there was a sama, there was a time when Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji hale Guru Sahib Ji bane ne, they've just become the Guru yet. Not long has passed. And Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji ne Sikhs nu, they've given the Sikhs an order. Othe Guru Sahib Ji ne na Sikhs nu kya, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਹਨੇ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨੇ, whoever's going to come inside to do darshan, whoever's going to come inside to do matha tek, tell them before they come inside to see me, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੰਗਰ ਛਕਣਾ. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji said to the Sikhs, as soon as they became the Guru, shortly after they became the Guru, they said, Sikhs ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ tell everybody, whoever, before they come to see me, first they have to sit in the pangat. Pangat literally means in a line, and then they have to eat langar, and then they come to see me. ਇੱਥੇ ਕਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਰਾਏ ਦੱਸੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ. People have told them many different ways of why, different reasons of why Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji did this. ਪਰ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਇੱਕ ਕਾਰਨ ਇਹ ਸੀਗਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਅਮੁੱਲ ਗੁਣ, ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਦੇ ਅਮੁੱਲ ਗੁਣ ਅਮੁੱਲ ਵਪਾਰ. The trade that Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji is doing is amul, is priceless. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji saying often when somebody comes, what's one of the things that puts people off when they come to see somebody? They see somebody to be just a preacher. They come to see somebody, and they're listening to them talk, and they look at them and thinking, it's easy for you to sit there and talk. And often these things go through people's minds, and they see someone to just be a preacher, somebody that's just dishing out things and telling people what to do. But Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji is saying, whoever comes into the house of Guru Nanak, they're saying before you even come to see the Guru, why don't you first experience? Why don't you first actually then see that what the Guru is saying, it's been put into practice. That person that first comes, before they even come to the Guru Sikh Pyareo, the teaching that our Guru gives out, they've already experienced that teaching of sitting down on the floor on one level, where there's no discrimination, whether it be you're sitting next to a king, whether it be you're sitting next to a pauper, There's no special foods. Everybody is eating the same food. First I get to experience that. And before they even come to Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji, they've already experienced what the Guru's house is about. So now when they come to see Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji, and then when Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah says that the house of Guru Nanak Padshah doesn't discriminate against anybody, they know that this Guru's house doesn't only say this, but they practice this. Because they've already experienced that before they came into Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah. Amul Gun, Amul Vapar, Amul Vapariye, and Guru Sikh Pyare, not only the trade that Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji does, but even the traders, even those that come to Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji to come and get something, even they become priceless. Amul Gun, Amul Vapar, Amul Vapariye, Amul Pandar, Amul Avah, Amul La Jahe. Amul Avah. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah Ji, they're saying that whoever comes into this world, and Amul Avah, whoever's come into this world, whoever's been given this human birth, Jera vi is sansar vich aanda Amul Avah, Amul La Jahe. But Guru Sikh Pyare, those that don't go away from here empty-handed and leave here Amul Jahe, Jahe, they take something out of that pandar, out of that treasure. Out of that treasure, Guru Sikh Pyare, that our Guru has left for us. Amul Vapariye, Amul Pandar. Pandar means treasure. If we take something out of the treasure of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Padshah Ji's Bani when we come here, Amul Avah, when we come to this treasure, Amul Pandar, Amul Avah, Amul La Jahe. And when you leave and you take this treasure that is priceless, that sits within Guru Granth Sahib Ji Padshah Ji, Amul La Jahe, when you leave from this world, you will become priceless as well. And if you become priceless, then you can merge back with that one that is priceless. But you've got to take those jewels from our Guru that is priceless. Amul Avah, Amul La Jahe. Guru Sikh Pyare. So if we look at Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji's Jeevani, the gun that Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji had within their own life, in their own Jeevan, the way they served, the way they had tolerance. Ek sama in Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji's life. What does the Guru do to us when we come to the Guru? Guru sade vaste sanu karda kiya. What does the Guru do to us? When Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji had been serving in the charan of Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji for about 3 years, hale 3 saal hoye sage when Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji came in the roop of Baba Amar Das Ji to Guru Angad Dev Ji. About 3 years had passed. Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji was sent home for a short while. Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji told Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji to go home for a little while and go and see the family. But whilst Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji had gone and they had left to see their family, there was a sadhu, there was a faqir, there was somebody else, there was a saint, somebody else that claimed to be a saint that lived in Khadur Sahib as well. But since Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji had become so popular, nobody used to ask about him. So what happened? There was a dry period at one time. Meeni se pya bada sama lang gaya. It hadn't rained for quite a while. And this sadhu said, people started to go to him because they were desperate now. They needed it to rain. People's crops were drying out. So some people, they went away from Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji because they're desperate now. They're trying to get it to rain. They would say to Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah, they say, oh Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah, meeni pya, do something. Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji would always say, this is Pani vich raho, they said, remain in God's will. Jo vi Akal Purkh Ji karde ne, changa karde. Whatever Vaheguru Ji is doing good. So then they said, you know what? This is too difficult, let's try somebody else. Kavari in our lives as well, people end up doing that. There's people that wear gatre, and when things get hard, you see those same people, Guru Sikh Pyare, going and putting their hands, and they put their hands in front of Pandits as well. Kai Sikh Dolge, they've gone to that saint, that person that claimed to be a saint, and they said to him, they said it hasn't rained for so long. Kende bada sama lang gaya, kende meen nahi paya. The Guru Sikh Pyare, you know what they said? Why he said to this? Because he had irkha, he had jealousy he was jealous of Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji. So out of jealousy, Guru Sikh Pyare, he said He said, until you don't get that Guru Angad Dev Ji out of this village, out of Khadur Sahib, it's not going to rain over here. It's because of him, because he's a family man. You can't have a family man as a Guru. He's married. You can't have a married person as a Guru. He needs to be celibate. He needs to give up everything. Either tell him to give up his family. If he's not willing to give up his family, then tell him to leave the village. Tell him to get out of Khadur Sahib. He goes, then it'll rain. They've come back. Some of those same Sikhs that was falling at the feet of Guru Angad Dev Ji Pacha, now today, they say to Guru Angad Dev Ji Pacha Ji, they're saying, Pacha Ji, we really need it to rain. Our crops are drying out. How are we going to eat? What's going to happen to our families? And we've been told, we don't have to say this, but Guru Angad Dev Ji, if you was to leave Khadur Sahib, we've been told it will rain. Guru Sikh Pyareo, Guru Angad Dev Ji Pacha Ji, the form of humility, Guru Angad Dev Ji Pacha Ji remained silent and they left Khadur Sahib. Guru Angad Dev Ji Pacha Ji Khadur Sahib to bahar chale gaye ne, par meeh feel nahi piya, but it still didn't rain. It still didn't rain, so those same Sikhs, they've gone back. They've gone back to that sadhu and they said, why hasn't it rained yet? He said, look, be a little patient. He said he was here for so long, so like he's probably left a little vibration behind him. Let him, he's wait a few more days. And until that time, samay de vich Guru Amar Das Ji wapas aa gaye ne. And this time Guru Amar Das Ji Pacha Ji comes back in history, which they are written as Baba Amar Das Ji before they came the Guru. They've come back and they said, Sikho, and imagine coming back. Guru Amar Das Ji Pacha Ji, they came back and they saw the throne of Guru Nanak Patsha, where Guru Angad Dev Ji Pacha Ji said, they saw that throne to be empty. And when Guru Amar Das Ji Pacha Ji कहने लगे कि Sikho कहने मेरा Guru किथे गया, where's my Guru gone? कहने my inside was in pain, I couldn't remain at home. I've come back to see my Guru, where's my Guru? Sikhs ne dasya ki hoya, the Sikhs have told, they says, look, we asked Guru Angad Dev Ji to leave because that sadhu said it's because of Guru Angad Dev Ji, it's not raining here anymore. Guru Amar Das Ji Pacha कहते hun meeh pੈ gaya. कहते has it rained now? How long has it been since Guru Angad Dev Ji Pacha Ji has left? Tell him, if he's got the powers, who you listen to, why hasn't he made it rain yet? He's saying it's because of Guru Angad Dev Ji Pacha Ji and Guru Amar Das Ji Pacha Ji ne seva ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ. Because Guru Amar Das Ji Pacha Ji had done seva, they had powers now as well. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਵਾਸ ਰਿੱਧੀਆਂ ਸਿੱਧੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਗਈਆਂ ਸੀ ਹੁਣ. They had a lot of miraculous powers as well now, Guru Amar Das Ji Pacha Ji. At a very early stage yet though of their seva. Remember, they served for about 12 years. There's only been about 3 years. Guru Amar Das Ji Pacha said, if you want it to rain, no problem. They said, go back to that sadhu, go back to that so-called saint. They said, tie a rope. They said, tie a knot with a rope to his leg. And they said, then drag him around as far as you can. They said, as much as you drag him around, how far you can take him within this village. This is within all that space, wherever you drag him around, they said it'll rain in that space. Guru Amar Das Ji said, this is, I can guarantee you this. And now the Sikhs have gone back, they're desperate because they need to feed their children. And they said to the sadhu, they said, sorry about this, but they said, look, you know what? Either make it rain, this says, otherwise we're going to tie you up. He goes, I can't do anything. And they said, well, there you go, this is, we're going to try whatever we can. Now we've been told to tie a rope around your leg and drag you around the whole village. And wherever we drag you until, within that area, it's going to rain. Gursikh Pyareo, unu kasitan lape. They've taken that sadhu and they've started to drag him around. And Gursikh Pyareo, as they're dragging him around, within their mind they've got a doubt. They're thinking in their mind that, you know what, how about if we're putting him through this grief for no reason? Baba Amar Das is quite old, he's just left his family and maybe, what does he know? He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just an old man that has left his family. And he's there eating for free in his relative's house. That's what people used to say about Guru Amar Das Ji Pacha Ji. They're doubting Guru Amar Das Ji Pacha. As soon as they doubted Guru Amar Das Ji Pacha Ji, Gursikh Pyareo, the clouds start to go grey. And they says, you know what, maybe he wasn't lying to us. Maybe there is some truth in what he said. The clouds go grey, Gursikh Pyareo. They've brought that sadhu all the way around. When they've stopped, when they couldn't drag him around anymore, Gursikh Pyareo, within that area it starts to rain. Uthe meeh pain lag paya. Sikhan ne sochya, the Sikhs are thinking, wow, he's possessed so many powers. Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah is going to be so happy with him. Bade khush honge Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah ji ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ. Sikhan ne jaake ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ. The Sikhs went and told Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah ji. He says, Paatshah ji, we're so sorry, please forgive us. If your Sikh that has served you only for 3 or 4 years has become so powerful, how powerful must you be? Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah says, what do you mean? What Sikh? Who's become powerful? Kende that Baba Amar Das, that old man that serves you, that brings water for you in the morning. Jara Sikhan di muthi chapi karda aya. Those that press the legs of the Sikhs. That one that brings the wood for the langar, that old man. Tab Guru Angad Dev Ji kende Baba Amar Das kende ki kita Baba? Kende what did he do? They said he was furious when he came back to see that you wasn't on the throne. He told us to do this. Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah ji, they came back to Khadur Sahib. They looked at Baba Amar Das ji. Baba Amar Das ji is looking at Guru Angad Dev Ji and bowed down to Guru Amar Das ji Paatshah ji, Gursikh Pyareo. And there Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah ji came in Biras. In this warrior spirit. Not only Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah ji came in this warrior spirit. Guru Angad Dev Ji came in this warrior spirit. They go, ki hoya? Kade inni ki shakti aayi te to chal nahi hui? They start to shout at Baba Amar Das ji Paatshah. Baba Amar Das Ji Paatshah is 25 years older. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah is 25 years older than Guru Angad Dev Ji. Kende bas itni ki shakti hai, you get a little bit of powers and you couldn't endure it? You couldn't handle that much power? You don't know how to remain in the will of God? Is this what you've come here to do? You've come here to serve just to get these powers and to do these type of things? Don't you think I could have done something? And Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah ji put their head down. Hath jod le. Sees Nima kar liya. That Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah ji, that when they first start their seva, Gursikh Pyareo, they wasn't able to tolerate, they wasn't able to endure when somebody says something to someone, when somebody said something about their Guru. And Gursikh Pyareo, now it's that same Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah. What happens when you go to the Guru? What does the Guru do to us? It's the 11th year now. The 11th year when Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah ji has been serving Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah is coming back from Byasa, from bringing the water for Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah ji. It's been raining. And today Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah ji, in this dark, in this storm, Chakhad Changi Mihu Varse, Pi Gur Dekhan Jai, Samund Sagar Huve Bahu Khara, Pi Gur Dekhan Jai, Gursikh Lang, Gur Peh Jai. Samund Sagar Huve Bahu Khara, Gursikh Pyareo, Chakhad Changi Mihu Varse. A Gursikh is that Gursikh Pyareo. Learn from Guru Amar Das Ji. Let us learn from Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah that Chakhad Changi Mihu Varse. That whether a storm comes, whether a physical storm comes outside, those people that have got that name that is going to go to see their Guru, nothing stops them. Nothing comes in their way to be with Sangat. Nothing stops them to be with Bani. Nothing stops them to listen to Kirtan. Nothing stops them. Nothing comes their way. Whether Chakhad Changi Miho Varse, Pame Mi Ave, whether it's raining hard, whether a storm comes, Chakhad Changi Miho Varse Pi Gur Dekhan Jai, they'll still go to see their Guru. Samund Sagar Huve Bahu Khara, even if they have to go and across that salty sea. Samund Sagar Huve Bahu Khara, Gursikh Lang, but that Gursikh Pyara, he will even go across that river. That Gursikh Pyara will even go across that ocean, Gursikh Lang, Gur Peh Jai, just to be with their Guru. Gursikh Pyaro, what is that storm? No matter what storm comes in your life, even if dukh comes in your life, no matter what comes in your life, even if pain comes in your life, no matter what it is that is trying to bring you down, even if the rain of Maya comes down in your life, the rain of illusion, if it's trying to attack you in many different ways, Gursikh Pyareo, no matter how many things trying to attack you, no matter how many ways, but Gursikh lang, Gur peh jai, but that Gursikh pyara will go and across that ocean and still be with the Guru no matter what. Just that state of mind now. Guru Ramdas Ji Paatshah Ji's Bani. But now Guru Ramdas Ji Paatshah feels like they're writing about Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah. They must have had Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji in their mind. When Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji on the 11th year, when they're coming back, it's raining hard. There's a storm. And Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji, they trip over something. Ek keeli, there's like a big nail dug into the ground. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji, Gursikh Pyaro, they trip over that nail. But do they try and save themselves? Apne aap nu bachaun da yatan kita Guru Amar Das Ji, Baba Amar Das Ji, nahi Gursikh Pyaro. They didn't try and save themselves. But what was their mind in? What was they focusing? What did they try and save? They saved that water that was taking back for Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah Ji. Kehne mere Guru da jehड़ा पानी है ना, जेरे पानी नाल मेरे गुरु ने इशनान करना ओ ना किते डिग पवे Gursikh Pyaro. They said, I don't want that water to fall on that floor. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah not worrying about them, not caring about themselves. They go and pick up that gagar. They saved that water that they were taken back for Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah Ji. Inna pyar Guru, that much love for the Guru. There's a big noise when they fall upon the ground and they save that water. Andro awaz aayi. There's a weaver from inside and he shouts out, "Can kaun asks me, who is it at this night? At time of the night that can't rest even at this time of the night. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Neend nahi aandi? Why aren't you asleep?" Straight away before Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah can say anything, Odro Odi, his wife speaks. The weaver's wife speaks. He goes, "Ohi hona nithawa amru." It must be that nithawa amru. Nithawa Tha means that somebody that's got a place. It must be that Nithawa Amru that's got no place in his life, that is wandering around. Gursikh Pyaro, apni dhi de sahreyan de ghare, he's just wandering around over here. And that day Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah says, kende jenu kende Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah di sharan mil gayi, kende oh Nithawa nahi reh janda. That person that gets the sanctuary of a Guru like Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah Ji, they no longer remain without a place in their life. They said, I can say with pride, kende oh kamali hai, kende menu thaan mili hui hai, kende menu Guru milya hoya. Kende I've got a Guru. Gursikh Pyaro, we've only got a place in life when we've got a Guru above our head. Only that dog is recognized, Gursikh Pyaro, that has got a collar around his neck. And Gursikh Pyaro, we want to be recognized as well. We don't want to be without a master. We don't want to be picked up like that dog that is wandering the streets and has no collar and gets taken and put in a van to be put down, Gursikh Pyaro. We don't want to be like that. What is that van? What is that van that comes and collects those dogs and puts them down? That van is Gursikh Pyaro, the Jamadut, the messengers of death. We want to be recognized. We want to have a collar around our neck as well. What's that collar, Gursikh Pyaro? That collar is this beautiful kakar that our Guru gave us. Those kakar when we receive, when we go to the Panj Pyare, we want to be recognized. We want to have a master above our head. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah kende kamaliye, oh crazy lady, I have a place in my life because I have a Guru now. There was a time when I had no Guru. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji goes back. You know what was one of the hardest things that Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji went through in their life whilst they were doing seva? The hardest thing they went through in their life was not the seva that they did. The biggest test of Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji's life was only on the first day that Guru Amar Das Ji came, 11 years ago, that Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah Ji spoke to Guru Amar Das Ji properly. Now let's think about ourselves here. I know that I could never pass this test. When you come to the Guru's house, we all want a pat on the back to say, well done. Well done. You're doing so well. You're washing dishes all the time. You've memorized so much Bani. We're waiting for somebody to give us a pat on the back and tell us how great we are. Guru Angad Dev Ji Paatshah Ji only spoke to Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah, Baba Amar Das Ji, on the first day they came properly. 11 years had gone by, they hadn't spoke to Guru Amar Das Ji properly. No pats on the back, Gursikh Pyaro. Instead they used to get told off. Like that time they got told off. There was another time they got told off as well by Guru Angad Dev Ji. They did look how much seva they did. Once they had gone to somebody's house with Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah. As they were at somebody's house, whose house they were in, they did a lot of seva for the Guru's house, but they had no child. And Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji, they had a thought in their mind, wouldn't it be great if Waheguru was to bless them with a child? Waheguru should bless them with a child, Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji said in their mind. Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji turned around to Guru Amar Das Ji. Guru Amar Das Ji just thought this. They said Waheguru should bless them with a child. Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji turned around and said to Baba Amar Das Ji, "Kehte tu zyada siyana ho gaya?" They said, "Have you become too clever now? Guru de hunde hoye, you're standing in front of a Guru and you know better that they need a child? Kehte you need to start controlling your thoughts." Guru Baba Amar Das Ji used to get told off all the time. They said now, you need to even start controlling your thoughts. And you're going to start giving out children now to people. You know better than Waheguru Ji. Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji used to get told off. Not a pat on the back, well done. 2 o'clock in the morning you go barefooted to go and get the water for me. Soon as we do something little, we're expecting to be recognized for that. We call it seva what we do, but there's always an expectation, even if we just want to be recognized for it. Instead, Guru Amar Das Ji gets told off for what they're doing. So now, Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji get late today. They're used to getting told off. So imagine now the one day out of all of these years, 11 years, they've been late for 11 years. So they're thinking, I've had it today. But it was that one day, Guru Sikh Pyareo, that they came late. When they came back, Guru Sikh Pyareo, Guru Angad Dev Ji didn't tell them off. Instead, Guru Angad Dev Ji ne gale na la liya. Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji embraced them. Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji not saying a word, not knowing why they've been embraced by the Guru. But in the morning, that husband, that weaver comes and he says, "Oh Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah," they says, "My wife's gone crazy since last night." They said that, you know that Baba Amar Das, he said to my wife, "Oh crazy lady," and she's literally gone crazy since last night. But now Guru Angad Dev Ji wasn't angry. Why? Because Guru Amar Das Ji didn't do that intentionally. It was sad Subai. It just came out naturally. It's that same Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji. We're talking about what happens when you come to the Guru's house. It was that same Guru Amar Das Ji that couldn't tolerate something. You know, it's only in the 3rd or 4th year. But when a time came, when Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji sat on that Gurgaddi, when they sat on that throne, so tikka, so behna, soi diban, it was that same sign on their forehead, the sign of the Shabad, so tikka, so behna, it was the same way of sitting, soi diban, it was that same darbar, just like Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji used to sit. Pyo dade jeveha, potra parvan, pyo dade. Guru Amar Das Ji was just like their father, the father Guru of Guru Angad Dev Ji. This is Satta Pai Sattam Balavan, Pyo Dade Javeha, just like their Dada Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Sat on the throne now, just the same, that same power, that same light, that same radiance. Guru Amar Das Ji sat on that throne. Remember now, what does the Guru do to us? There was a time when Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji couldn't endure things, couldn't tolerate certain things. But now, when the son of Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji came by Datu Ji, he was enraged. He was so angry that Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji got the throne. He came running over to Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji, that same Guru Amar Das Ji that made the Sikhs drag somebody around. And today, when somebody comes and kicks Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji, आज जदों अपना इतिहास लिखदा प्यारियो, that Bhai Datu Ji ne Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah de putter ne, the son of Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah Ji, out of jealousy, raging, comes running over to Guru Amar Das Ji in Goindwal Sahib and kicks Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah, because Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji was old and frail. They say Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji fell off the throne. कहते Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji अपने तख्त तो डिग पे. Guru Amar Das Ji is fallen off the throne, and the Sikhs are coming running to grab hold of Bhai Datu Ji. Guru Amar Das Ji Padshah Ji smile. एक पासे इशारा किया, the Sikhs start to look, what is Guru Amardas Ji about to do? Guru Amardas Ji Pacha Ji hold on to the feet of Bhai Datu Ji. They said, "Eh mere kende Guru de saputtar de pair ne." They said, "These are the beautiful feet of my Guru's son. You're so privileged to be the son of my Guru, who I served. Kende these feet are blessed, the feet of my Guru's son." And Guru Amardas Ji Pacha Ji start to rub their feet. Kende, "Oh Bhai Datu, kende forgive me. Kende my bones are old and brittle and hard. I must have hurt you. Beautiful, delicate feet." And Guru Amardas Ji said, "Give me the opportunity to serve you and rub your feet." That is what the Guru does to us. The Guru makes that Sikh to that extreme, to that level, to endure and tolerate to that extent. Guru Sikh Pyareo, Je Vaheguru Ji da nahi ant ja. If we can never know the limit of Vaheguru, we can never know the limit of our Guru as well. Dhan Guru Amardas Ji Sache Paatshah, Mere Lal Jiyo, Tera ant na jana. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah kehn lage, Kehde, Vaheguru Ji, how can we know your limit? Look where you are for a start. This is where do we start looking? This is Vaheguru Ji. Fir kehn lage, Kehde, hey Vaheguru Ji, tusi hai kithe? Kehde, tu jal thal mahiyal bharpur leena, tu ape sarb samana. Kehde, Vaheguru Ji, tu jal. Kehde, Vaheguru Ji, we don't even know the limit. We can't even say, nobody can say how much water there is in all the oceans of the world. If somebody was to look, we only know about this world. People saying that the planets, that the other places that they've come across, they're not sure if they found water there yet. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji Pacha says, Patala Patal, Lakh Agasa Agas. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Pacha is saying there's hundreds of thousands of other planets out there. How do we know? There might be planets out there that have water there as well. There might be planets out there that have got more water than even the earth. And Guru Sikh Pyare, so if we can't even know the limits of how much water there is here, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying, "Oh Vaheguru Ji, how can we know your limits? We don't even know the limit of water." That kehne, you're in that water. Kehne, tu jal. Kehne, where else are you? Thal. You're in the earth as well. Kehne, tu jal. You're within the water. You're within the earth. Kehne, tu jal thal mahiyal. You're within the sky as well. Oh Vaheguru Ji, mahi means dharti. You're not only within the sky and the dharti, but you're within the space as well. That space between the earth and that space between the sky, you're within that area as well. Leena, you're completely immersed within all of these things. Tu ape sarva samana, you yourself are absorbed in all of these things. Guru Sikh Pyareo, you know when Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah Ji, ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਜਾਪ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਉਚਾਰੀ, when ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਉਚਾਰ the ਬਾਣੀ of ਜਾਪ ਸਾਹਿਬ, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Pacha Ji is experiencing God. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Pacha Ji isn't giving us upadesh. They're not giving us a set of instructions. They're not saying to us, they're not saying, "Oh Sikhs, listen." They're not saying, "Oh Sikhs, listen, that Vaheguru Ji is in the water." But Jap Sahib is such a bani that Guru Gobind Singh Ji Pacha Ji, when they look towards the direction of water, when they look towards a flowing river, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Pacha saying, "Kehne lage, kehne jale hain." Kehne, "Oh Vaheguru Ji," kehne, "there you are." Kehne, "Jale hain." Kehne, "Look, there you are. You're in the water as well." How important is it to get Santhya of Gurbani? If a lot of people, when they read this Bani, they'll say Jale ha. No, Guru Sikh Pyare, if we were saying Jale ha, if we don't add the bindi, then Guru Sahib Ji will be giving us a set of instructions and saying, "Sikhs, listen, that Vaheguru Ji is in the water." But no, when they add the bindi, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Pacha is talking directly to Vaheguru Ji, saying, "Kehne lage, kehne jale hain, thale hain," kehne, "You are in the water, there you are, oh Vaheguru Ji." Jale hain, thale hain, kehne, "There you are, oh Vaheguru Ji, you are in the earth as well." Kehne, "What else are you, Vaheguru Ji?" Kehne lage, kehne, "Apeet hain, ape hain." Kehne, "You are apeet." Peet means fear. Kehne, "You are beyond fear, oh Vaheguru Ji." Peet also means war. Kehne, "Oh Vaheguru Ji, you are not hidden in one little wall. You are not hidden in one little area, Vaheguru Ji. You are beyond anything. You are completely everywhere. You don't belong just into one little place. You cannot be hidden in a little wall." Kehne, "Apeet hain, ape hain." Oh Vaheguru Ji, your secrets cannot be known. Ape means secrets. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah is talking directly to Waheguru Ji and experiencing Waheguru Ji. And Guru Sikh Pyareo, how deep is this? Je Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, oh Waheguru Ji, just before we go into this, we're going to look at another Bani just to get the asara of this, just to take the support from another Bani here. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah saying Jale Haan. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah is saying here, कहंदे तू जल, कहंदे talking direct to God and saying तू, saying oh Waheguru Ji, you, yeah you, कहंदे Waheguru Ji कहंदे तू जल thal mahil, you're absorbed in the water, you're absorbed in the earth. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah saying कहंदे Jale Haan, look there you are, you're in the water. And Guru Sikh Pyareo, ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਸੋਚੀਏ ਨਾ ਗੱਲ, if we think about something, if we look, take asra of Bani, even though this Bani here is talking to us about death, pavane meh pavan samaya, jyoti meh jyot ral jaya, mati mati hui ek. Over here Guru Sahib is talking about death here. We're going to look at this in two ways. Guru Sahib is saying to us over here, ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਵਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਪਵਨ ਸਮਾਇਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਰਦਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ what dies. That's just an illusion that something dies. Guru Sahib Ji saying, you know when somebody dies, somebody says, oh look, they've died, they've gone, it's finished. Guru Sahib Ji saying that's an illusion. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਵਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਪਵਨ ਸਮਾਇਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ you know the breath that was inside of them, ਪਵਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਪਵਨ ਸਮਾਇਆ. Samaya means to merge back in. They said that breath that was inside of them has just now merged back in with the air, with the oxygen. Nothing's died. Pavane mein pavan samaya, kehne jyoti mein jyot ral jaya. Those that have now made it to Waheguru Ji, the atmak jyot inside of them goes into that Paramatma. Jyoti mein jyot ral jaya, that jyot, that light inside of us merges back in with the ultimate light, which is Waheguru Ji. Jyoti mein jyot ral jaya. Mati hui ek, कहंदे माटी, कहंदे this body that is made out of soil, made out of dust, mitti, mati. Now the second mati is talking about the mitti that we see, the dust that we see on the floor, the earth. कहंदे mati, and when it goes, when this body goes mati hui ek, that mitti and this mitti becomes one. Gursikh Pyareo, asal vich this is hui ek, that's just an illusion anyway, that we think there's that mitti and there's this mitti. There's no difference. We see Waheguru Ji, what is illusion? Illusion is when we see two. When we see a mitti and o mitti, o ho reha, that's something else, that's different and that's different. When we think about Waheguru Ji, Gursikh Pyareo, we think about a light, there's Waheguru Ji that sits in our heart, and then there's Waheguru Ji, and then we separate Waheguru Ji again, then there's Waheguru Ji in the water. Ek oankar, kar means that Waheguru Ji is non-stop. If you think about like this sheet now, there's just one sheet. Waheguru Ji is like this sheet. Waheguru Ji, there's no stops between Waheguru Ji. Waheguru Ji is everything. Then Guru Sahib Ji say, कहंदे rovan hare ki kavan take. Guru Sahib Ji say, कहंदे when somebody dies, कहंदे rovan hare ki kavan take. कहंदे on what basis are you crying? Guru Sahib Ji saying, this is on what basis are you crying? This is nothing's died here. Everything's just gone back to where it's come from. कहंदे कौन मुआ रे, कौन मुआ, कहंदे कौन मरया, कहंदे who's just died. Guru Sahib Ji कहंदे कौन मुआ रे, कहंदे who's just died. कहंदे Brahm Gyani. कहंदे why don't you ask a Brahm Gyani, they'll tell you. They can see this. Those that have realized Waheguru Ji. कहंदे you'll have to go and talk to them. Those that have realized God, that have realized Waheguru Ji Akal Purkh. कहंदे तानू Brahm Gyani नू जाके पुछना पऊगा. कहंदे why don't you go and do some vichar, go and ask the advice of a Brahm Gyani. And Gursikh now taking this back to where we started from. If we're saying mati hui ek, if Guru Gobind Singh Ji and Guru Nanak Dev Ji saying that Waheguru Ji is within that earth, within the dust, if this is dust as well, then Waheguru Ji isn't only in our hearts, Gursikh Pyareo, then Waheguru Ji is in this dust as well. We can't get away from Waheguru Ji, you can try. But if that is dust, if that is the earth, mati hui ek, ek ukko hi a, ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਉਸ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ is within that dust but ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ is within this dust as well ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰੋ is not only in the ocean that you see but our body is made up of about 70% of water ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ is within the water that is within us as well so there is no breaks between ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ is ਇੱਕ ਸਾਰ ਲਗਾਤਾਰ ਓਂਕਾਰ there is no everything is ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ there is nothing but ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ and some people might feel that this is a little bit deep but this is the Bani this is what Guru Nanak Dev Ji is talking about here that Bani isn't only in the ocean that water is inside of us as well all the elements that Guru Sahib Ji is saying that Vaheguru Ji is in, all those elements our body is made out of as well. Within each element of us, Vaheguru Ji is in within the breath that we take as well. Within the air as well. So Guru Sikh Pyareo, and then just finishing off this Bani, Guru Sahib Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਜਲ ਥਲ ਮਹੀਲ ਭਰਪੂਰ ਲੀਨਾ ਭਰਪੂਰ means ਭਰਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ flowing overflowing completely filled in everything so there's no gaps anywhere there's no gaps there is nothing but Vaheguru Ji is overflowing within everything ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਲ ਥਲ ਮਹੀਲ ਭਰਪੂਰ ਲੀਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਆਪੇ ਸਰਬ you yourself is absorbed in everything Rahau that is the Rahau Pankti Gursikh Pyareo that is what this Shabad is centered. This is the center of the Shabad Guru Sikh Pyareo. Then Guru Sahib Ji kehne manata raji. Guru Sahib Ji says kehne Sikho this is the only way. Kehne if you want to realize Vaheguru Ji kehne then you've got to make your mind into the scale manata raji. They said now you make your mind into the scale how? You make your mind into shubh vichar. Shubh vichar Guru Sikh Pyareo means when you purify your thoughts. How do you purify your thoughts? When you take the Guru's mat, the Guru's intellect, if you put that above your mind, if you always take your Guru's intellect and not your own intellect, and then Guru Sikh Pyareo, your mind, thoughts as well, they'll start to be purified. You've got to make pure thoughts into your scale. Manata, Raji, Chit, Tula, then the Tula, then the stone, the weight Guru Sikh Pyareo is Chit, is jado chintan karna Vaheguru Ji da. Vaheguru Ji da chintan karna means when you remain always in thought of Vaheguru Ji, focused on Vaheguru Ji. When you're always focused on Vaheguru Ji, Guru Sikh Pyareo, chit tula teri sev saraf kamawa. Teri sev saraf kamawa. What is the saraf? What is the praiser? What is that person that comes to work, that works things out, that puts a price on gold, that puts a price on jewelry? What is that? Guru Sahib Ji says, teri sev saraf kamawa is serving Vaheguru Ji. That is the appraiser. That is how you can become the appraiser, is when you start to serve Vaheguru Ji. We've spoke about that in many of the kathas, how you serve Vaheguru Ji, so I'm not going to go into that. And then kat hi pitar soho toli. Then deep in your kat means heart. Kat hi pitar. Pitar means inside. Kat hi pitar so that. So which who? Soho means husband. Husband Vaheguru Ji. Soho toli. They said, weigh Vaheguru Ji in your heart. Deep in your heart, weigh Vaheguru Ji. How do you weigh Vaheguru Ji in your heart? Guru Sikh Pyareo, within your heart, you weigh Vaheguru Ji. Meaning here, Guru Sahib is saying, you get to feel and start experiencing Vaheguru Ji inside of your heart. Anubhav karna. Anubhav means to experience in your heart. Because that's where you experience Vaheguru Ji in your heart, Guru Sikh Pyareo. Not within your mind. Manna nahi. Apne Guru Sikh Pyareo kat de andar. That's how you weigh Vaheguru Ji. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Paatshah is Bani Achal Murat Anpao Prakash. Because what is Vaheguru Ji? Is Achal Murat. Murat means the form. What is form here? Meaning what is Vaheguru Ji like? Vaheguru Ji is Achal Murat. Achal means chal is somebody jado ek din chal vasana. In Punjabi somebody says na ek din inne bas tusi apa vi chal vasana. One day we're going to leave from here. But Vaheguru Ji is Achal. Vaheguru is never going to leave from here. Vaheguru Ji is permanent. Achal Murat Anpao Prakash. Anpao means Vaheguru Ji, Guru Sikh Pyareo. Vaheguru Ji doesn't take their wisdom and knowledge from anybody else. Everything comes to Vaheguru Ji from within. That's what self-illuminate actually means. Siddhe Siddh Prakash, apne aap vicho prakash hona. It's the same word as Sahib Bhang. Anpao means Gursikh Pyaro as well. Waheguru Ji Waheguru Ji can only be experienced and not understood with this mind. So over here, Guru Nanak Dev Ji saying, Kat hi Peter soho toli. You've got to experience Waheguru Ji in your heart. That's how you weigh Waheguru Ji. In bid chit rahava. In this way, this is how you remain focused on Waheguru Ji. Ape kanda tol taraji. Waheguru Ji is everything themselves, just like we've spoke about. Ape kanda. Waheguru Ji is the scale themselves as well. Kanda means that needle that holds the scale together. Waheguru Ji is that themselves. Ape kanda tol taraji. Waheguru Ji is also Gursikh Pyaro tol taraji. Waheguru Ji is the actual scale themselves as well. Waheguru Ji is everything themselves. Ape tolanahara. Waheguru Ji is the one that weighs themselves as well. The person that is weighing, Waheguru Ji is that themselves. How? Toon darayao dana bina. मैं मछली कैसे अंत लहा. गुरसिख प्यारे नो समा हो गया, बस 2 मिनट होर लाने आ, माफ़ करना प्रबंधक दे सरना विच बेनती, बस 2 मिनट होर आप शब्द संपूर्ण करके. Over here we just trying to understand Waheguru Ji is everything. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah कहंदे तू दरियाओ, कहंदे Waheguru Ji you are like the ocean, तू दरियाओ दाना बीना. Now Dana कहते Waheguru Ji you are all knowing, all seeing. तू दरियाओ दाना बीना, मैं मछली कैसे अंत ला. They said but I'm a fish, I'm like a fish. कैसे मैं मछली कैसे अंत ला. How can I know your limits? Because if you think about a fish, Gursikh Pyaro, the fish is surrounded with water. Everywhere around the fish is water. How is Waheguru Ji all knowing, all seeing? But then now they're comparing here to the ocean. They're saying if we imagine us now, imagine to be like a fish. Imagine to be in the ocean like a fish. What is outside? When you look out, what is there? There's water. How does a fish breathe? Through its fins. What passes through the fins? The water. The breath of that fish is water as well. If that fish looks inside, through the fins, water goes inside the fish. What is inside the fish? Water. There is nothing but water, Gursikh Pyaro, wherever that fish looks. Toon darayao Dana Bina, wherever I look, Gursikh Pyaro, Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying, I can see you, Waheguru Ji, there's nothing but you. Toon darayao Dana Bina. And then Waheguru Ji, you know everything about, you can see everything because you're inside of me, you're outside of me, just like that water is for the fish. So you know my thoughts, Waheguru Ji. Toon darayao Dana Bina, मैं मछली कैसे अंत ला. How can I ever know your limits? Jaha jaha dekha, wherever I look, Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying. What state, what beautiful state Guru Nanak Dev Ji is talking about here. Declaring to the world how they saw Waheguru Ji. कहते जहाँ जहाँ देखा तहाँ तहाँ तू है. कहते Waheguru Ji, wherever I look I just see you. There's nothing but you, Waheguru Ji. कहते जहाँ जहाँ देखा तहाँ तहाँ तू है. तुझते निकसी फूट मरा. कहते oh Waheguru Ji, just like a fish, if that fish was to come out of the water, that fish will burst and die. And it will be suffering. कहते oh Waheguru Ji, if I was to come out of you for even one moment, कहते just like that fish, I will burst and die as well. कहने लगे कहते Waheguru Ji, you are everything. कहते आपे तोलनहारा, आपे देखे, you are the one that is looking. आपे बूझे, you are the one that understands. आपे है नजारा, you are the one that is the trader as well. कहते अंदला नीच जात परदेसी, खिन आवे तिल जावे. ताकि संगत नानक रहदा, क्यों कर मूड़ा पावे. Is पंक्तियां, just these 2 पंक्तियां will base the whole Diwan, the whole Katha, the 1 hour's Katha next week on just these 2 पंक्तियां, just these 2 lines. There's so much in these just 2 lines. Andala, meaning this is now Guru Nanak Dev Ji showing their utmost humility, calling themselves blind. Andala, Neat Jat, a low caste, Pardesi, somebody that doesn't live at home. What do these things mean? Why is Guru Nanak Dev Ji speaking in so much humility? Gursikh Pyaro will look at these 2 lines. Next week go through about 3 of our Guru Sahibs, how they had these qualities of humility.